All right, today we're tackling something that's on a lot of parents' minds, the Garmin Bounce 2. It's Garmin's smartwatch built just for kids, and it sits right in that tricky space between technology, parenting, and, just wanting some peace of mind. So let's jump right in and see if this thing is actually the right fit for your family.
So here's the big question, right? A smartphone for your child. It's something so many of us are wrestling with. You want to stay connected, you want to know they're safe, but you're just not ready to hand over a full-blown smartphone with, well, everything that comes with it. It's that classic modern parenting problem. How do you get the connection without all the distraction?
Well, this is exactly where Garmin is trying to fit in. Think of the Bounce 2 as that potential middle ground. It's designed to give your kid a little taste of independence, but it keeps you, the parent, firmly in the driver's seat with calling, texting, and tracking, all without needing a phone.
Okay, before we get into all the bells and whistles and cool features, let's just get straight to the point, the price. Because with the Bounce 2, it is not as simple as just buying the watch and being done with it. So right out of the gate, you're looking at $299. And let's put that in perspective for a second. Reviewers like The Verge and especially the 5K Runner were quick to point out that this is literally double the price of the original Bounce. That is a huge price hike right from the start. And that's just part one of the cost. Here's the kicker. To make the watch actually do all the important stuff, the calling, the tracking, the texting, you have to get Garmin's LTE subscription, and that's going to set you back another $9.99 every single month.
So you do the math? That's about $120 a year on top of the $300 you already paid. This isn't just a gadget, it's an ongoing service. It's a real commitment.
And to really see where this lands, let's look at the competition. The 5K Runner makes a great point here, comparing it to its biggest rival, the Apple Watch SE 3. That watch starts at around $249. So yeah, Garmin's giving you this nice self-contained system, but you are absolutely paying a premium for it, especially when you factor in that monthly fee.
Okay, so you're paying that premium, but for what? What's the big promise here? Well, it all boils down to two things for Garmin: keeping you connected and keeping your child safe. The way you talk to your kid is actually pretty cool. You use the Garmin Junior app on your phone, and that's basically your command center. You can call them, they can call you, they can send you little 20-second voice messages, which is awesome for younger kids who maybe can't type that well yet. And for texting, they can either use messages you've pre-written for them, or, yep, there's a full little QWERTY keyboard on there too.
And this gets to the absolute core of the Bounce 2's whole philosophy. The 5K Runner puts it perfectly. It's a walled garden. Basically, your kid can only talk to people you approve in the app. Grandparents, you, your partner, the babysitter, that's it. It's a fantastic way to keep strangers out, but, and this is a big but, it's also a big limitation. Your child can't just text their best friend from school unless that friend's parents also have the Garmin app.
Now for the safety features, this is where Garmin really shines. You've got three main things. 1, real-time location tracking, so you can see right where they are on a map. 2, an assistance feature to alert contacts in an emergency. But the real star of the show, the feature that the 5K Runner called outstanding, is the geofencing. You can draw a virtual circle around their school or a friend's house, and you get an alert on your phone the second they arrive and the second they leave. That is some serious peace of mind. Okay, so that all sounds pretty great on paper, right? That's the promise. But what about the reality? What happens when this watch gets out into the wild, with actual kids, scraped knees, and forgotten chargers? Let's dive into what real users are saying. So, Garmin's official claim on their website is up to 2 days of battery life. And look, to be fair, Garmin is usually really good, really accurate about their battery claims. However, this is where things get tricky. We saw this a lot on the Garmin forums. A user named Ri-Fi said it doesn't last past a day as advertised, and it's unreliable. And here's why: that LTE connection. The more your kid is using it for calls and texts, or if you're just in a place with bad cell service, that battery can just tank. We're talking less than a day. And for a safety device, that's a really big deal.
And what about durability? I mean, it's for a kid, right? It's got to be tough. It is swim-friendly, which is a huge plus. But the screen, that's another story. We saw one parent on the forums who had to replace the screen twice on 2 different watches because they cracked so easily. And that's a tough pill to swallow when, as the 5K Runner points out, the competing Apple Watch SE 3 has this newer, stronger glass that's literally made to resist cracks.
So when you put it all together, what you find is that people's experiences are, well, they're all over the place. It's really night and day. You'll find one parent in the forums who has two of them and says they're nearly flawless and the geofencing is perfect. And then in the very next post, you'll see someone else calling it the worst watch they have ever put out. It's one of those products that seems to either be a perfect fit for a family or a total nightmare.
So, where does that leave us? You've got this high price, these really strong safety promises, but then these totally mixed reviews from the real world. How on earth do you decide? Well, let's try to boil it all down.
All right, let's just lay it all out. The good stuff, you get phone-free tracking and communication in that super safe, controlled ecosystem. And it's packed with all the fun Garmin fitness features to keep your kid moving. The not-so-good stuff, the total cost of ownership is high. The battery life can be a real gamble. And yeah, you have to wonder if that screen can really stand up to an active kid.
You know, the 5K Runners review really nails who this is for. They paint a really clear picture of the ideal family for this watch. We're talking about parents of a kid who's maybe 6, 7, or 8 years old. Maybe you're already a Garmin family, so you know the ecosystem. You're someone who really values that ring-fenced safety, and you're willing to pay a premium for it. And this is a big one, you live somewhere with great cell service, so that battery doesn't become a constant headache.
So in the end, it all really boils down to this one question for you. Is that walled garden of safety, that closed-off, protected little world, is it worth the high price and the potential real-world frustrations for your family? Only you can really answer that one.